Hello. Once again, you're welcome to this installment of your favorite YouTube channel, Tissues of the Issues. This is the budget edition. As you can see, today we're doing a recording from outside. We are on a park. It's still winter here in Canada, Ottawa. But the weather is nice, so it's some 10 degrees, and so we can afford to come out here without a jacket, enjoy the breeze, the sun coming out, and also get to do a recording. There might be some distractions behind me, birds chirping and people passing around, but we'll make it work. It's outdoors, and let's just enjoy it. So, the Finance Minister of Ghana, the Honorable GH450 Monthly Budget, presented his budget to Parliament only a few days ago. It's actually President Mahama's first budget in his second term. But President Mahama is also the 6th president of the Fourth Republic, so he's been president before, and this is his second term, and this is his first budget in the second term. And so we're going to do some analysis of the budget, and particularly zero in on people who are earning the very, very basic, right? So people earning 400 cedis, 500 cedis a month as salary. How are they able to scrape through? So what kind of accommodation does a budget like that make for people like that? So before we go on any further, just as you do for us always, help us grow by clicking the button for notification so you see what's coming next week, and also liking the channel, give us a comment, and also most importantly, if you can subscribe to this channel for us, we'll be very grateful. So today we're going to use a case study of somebody that we actually do know. It's a person, not a creation. Auntie Atsupi. So this is her profile. She lives in Accra. She's a mother of 5. Well, husband is dead, so she's actually a widow. And she works in an NGO as a cleaner. And she earns some 450 cedis every month. Now, out of this money, she needs to pay for her rent, pay for gas to buy, to cook, pay for food, pay for trotro back and forth from church, and also to work back and forth. The only thing that she gets for free is during the midweek service, somebody gives her a lift back home. So that's about the only thing that she can get for free. But every other thing she needs to pay on such a tight budget. So for somebody like that, how does she manage to go through a month and still live, right? So we're going to see how this kind of budget supports a person like that. So after the budget, well, let's actually find Atsupi's benefit. Let's get to see some little highlights of what Mr. Atsupi, what Dr. Atsupi presented to Parliament a few days ago. So the preamble to the budget, he said something that was quite instructive, that this is not just about numbers. It's actually a blueprint for growth, stability, and opportunity. And he also described the budget as a shock therapy to the previous economy that they inherited from President Akufo-Addo. So they said that was a mess of economy, so economy that was criminally managed, in the was a president. And so this was a shock therapy to that economy that was managed in a criminal way, according to the president and also the finance minister. And so there were some highlights, and let's just go through the highlights, just a little bit, not all of it, but just a few things that might benefit somebody who is earning that kind of amount every month, right? And so, top of the list, the president said he's going to scrap the previous president's policy. So the 1 district, 1 factory, 1 constituency, 1 million, all those things. The president said, well, those things wouldn't change anything. They are going away. Scrapping them, and also you remember the Coastal Development Authority, all those authorities that they created, in the old administration. It was also called Savannah Development. All those ones have been moved under the district assemblies, so that's what is going to happen. And then the famous and controversial e-levy is also abolished, emissions levy abolished, betting tax also abolished, and then most importantly, and this for Auntie Atsupi's benefit, free SHS. President Mahama promised in his State of the Union address that he wasn't going to cancel it. He's going to actually make it better, and I think the budget sought to do something like that. So he's been allocated some 4.1 billion additional money to add to the 3.5 billion cedis that had been used to finance the free researchers, so he's going to add additional for 4.1 billion to make it even better. And if you go on social media, we see videos of people making reports that the food at this SHS is better. People they have more than they can eat. They have sardines and other things. So but of course these are from maybe party sympathizers and all that. So so that's what's going to happen. Also, most importantly, something that was promised and that has been fulfilled, that there would be a no fee stress policy. So those going to university for the first year, the president is saying that it's going to pay your entrance fee. I mean, the first year fees is going to be catered for, so you don't need to worry at all during your first year. All those things are paid for if you're going to UST. So Auntie Atsupi's daughter, Etonam, might be going to UST soon, and so that kind of policy might benefit Etonam. And then there's also 200 million cedis that has been allocated to the victims of the Ketu South tidal wave flooding. So that happens, once in a while. And so the president has voted some money to cushion those victims. And Auntie Atsupi is a twin. Her twin sister lives in that constituency. And so she will benefit from this kind of facility, right? And there's also, the recent Akosombo dam spillage. There's also some money, some 200 and something million cities voted to also cushion people like that. But then there's also other aspects that might not really benefit Auntie Atsupi that perhaps are also worth talking about. The Ghana Gold Board. So some 279 million cedis, a revolving fund has been created to work in that area. And the expectation is that if that happens well, if that works very well, it would promote the city's stability. But of course, for somebody like Auntie Atsupi, she doesn't really care about that gold board and capital expenditures and all those KPIs, fine statistics that people deliver or people explain when budgets are read. She doesn't see the point, right? What she needs to do is, if these things will make her life better. If she goes to buy K&K or she get into Trotro home and there's some accommodation for people in her situation, that is what she's looking forward to. Her daughter at Tonam supports in her house, but she's also lost her job. She was a teacher in a private school, due to sexual harassment by the proprietor. So everything is in her economy is very tight, and so she needs some cushioning. Not fantastic figures and GDP figures and all those inflation figures that's coming down. She doesn't feel it. She wants to feel it in her pocket. And so this is Auntie Atsupi's situation, all right? And then when the budget was read, so she didn't have to watch it. She said, she didn't actually have to listen to it because she can't afford the multi-TV box for her TV. She had the old TV, the one that had the big back, but now she has a smart TV, but that can't work, and so she gets the box to fix it. So she didn't get to see the budget, but her daughter gave her some highlights of what happened, and she asked the question, I've been listening to budgets since Kwesi Botwe. What has happened to me? She also mentioned the previous finance minister, Kanaforiata, that listened to her budget, the man who was wearing white, that's what she calls him. What has changed my situation? So if another finance minister has come and is young and is smart, how would that affect my economy? She wants to know how that would affect the economy. Now, and when she goes to work, people in her bracket, they have a way of living, right? So some of them, the driver had come at her workplace, and some other staff, doing menial situations in the office area. What they do is that some of them walk from their houses way off, some as far as Awoshi to the workplace, and they don't go back after work. So for the week, after work they find some abandoned vehicle or some grounded vehicle in the office environment to sleep in for the entire week, so they can save the money for transport, right? And after in the morning they wake up to shower in the open space to start the next day's job. So that's how they live, so they can save that kind of money. During lunch, they look forward to somebody sending them on errands so they can get some little tip here and there, and also some leftover food, right? and what they do is they don't even eat well. So you eat 101, or so you get good lunch, heavy lunch, and that's it, and that's all. So you don't eat breakfast, you skip breakfast, you skip supper, you eat good lunch, and that's it. So people live like that in the capital of Ghana. Right? But for Auntie Atsupi, she can't even afford to do that because she needs to go back home, cook for her family on the same amount of money. Previously, she used to fry plantain behind a organizer's shop. That's after the death of her husband. But now the land that she was doing this on, a new owner purchased it and cleared up everybody. So now she's back home, and then she got this cleaning job that she's living on. So people are surviving as if they are paying a price for merely being Ghanaians. And so any budget that is read, we need to find out what kind of accommodation has been made for people in that bracket. Right? So she's going to benefit from free SHS for her child, free university for her child. But beyond that, how is Auntie Atsupi's life going to get better? So that's where we are. Before we go any further, let's get to understand that various presidents have come to Ghana and gone. Various finance ministers have come and gone. But let's find out what accommodations have been made for people in that bracket. We used to get something like LEAP for people, who had nothing to live on, but seriously, the average person's life isn't better. So Auntie Atsupi is 450 cedis every month. It's actually short of the daily minimum, the daily or the monthly minimum for Ghanaians. So it's 490 for the person who takes the lowest in Ghana, supposed to be 490 cedis a month, and that will translate into some 17 cedis or 16 cedis every day. But she can't afford to waste that every day, right? What will happen to her rent? What will happen to other things, food and everything? So people are working out magic to just survive. Sometimes you wonder, how are they surviving? So we say in Accra we live by a plan, but you wonder what kind of plan are they deploying? Because there's no plan really to deploy to be able to go through a month on 450 cedis. What kind of plan can you conjure, even if you have the vote in your house, unless there's some kind of a divine vote that Auntie Atsupi keeps in her house? Otherwise, it's a difficult thing for her. And so we are also asking, there's a German word called Wirtschaftswunder, that means economic miracle. For somebody like Auntie Atsupi, what would be her Wirtschaftswunder? What would be the miracle that anybody can work for her economically, so she can see some better life, at least in her lifetime? She's 62 years old this month, and in her lifetime she has hoped against hope that life will get a little better, but it seems every year she needs to recycle the old regrets and look forward to another year, and then there are even more pain and more hardship. So that's where we are at this point with any economy. That Auntie Atsupi is operating a very, very painful economy, very, very tight for her. And so any economic policy should address somebody like that, somebody in that kind of situation. So that has been our installment of this edition of Teach of the Issues. And as you'll be aware, this is just a video presentation of our newspaper articles. So we have a column in the paper called News Center. So every week, after the column has been published, we do a little summation, a summary, in this video presentation. So this is just about 10 minutes of the content in the paper. So if you're able to read the paper, you also get a benefit from this video presentation, and then you can enjoy with us. So this has been this installment of your favorite column, Tissues of the Issues. But before we do go, let's, as we do always, we deliver a little verdict on what we think the issues are. Now, looking at the budget that was presented to Parliament, we think the finance minister made some bold propositions. It looks like for once in Ghana, there is what sociologists call the collective effervescence, some kind of shared sentiment that it looks like a very sane budget. It looks like there have been some great accommodations in this budget. But then again, when Mr. for Riata, give his budget the very first time. People number Abusokai, we saw them on television jubilating, that they've now found some kind of, economic savior, right? But soon after that, the same people were now revolting that where they have not seen a worse finance minister. His own party in parliament revolted against him. So these are early days yet with the Mahama administration. Things are looking good though, but let's hope that they can sustain the goodwill and deliver more important projects. Already they seem to be cutting down on government expenditure and all those things. Those should mean something, right? But eventually, the life of those at the bottom of things, Auntie Atsupi, people earning that minimum, it should mean something, right? And we should see their lives getting better. So these things must reflect in the life of the ordinary person. Otherwise, these are savings that are not going away. So our verdict is that things are shaping well, but Auntie Atsupi still needs a Wisham window, an economic miracle, to see things shaping out great in her life. Otherwise, another budget reading will still find her in that position, and that will be a failure, not just for Auntie Atsupi, but also for all of us. Before we go, if you can help us by clicking on the button for notification, and also by subscribing to the channel, most importantly, give us a comment and also like this comment. This has been yet another installment of your favorite channel, Teachers of the Issues. You come your way again next week with yet another exciting edition. Thank you very much.